Hello, everyone. Okay, I am going to be walking you through how to successfully eat at a restaurant. Okay, so I am at a seafood restaurant. I came pretty close after my lift, which means I definitely want the carbohydrate. Okay, if you lifted in the morning and you come into a restaurant at night, it would be wiser to have a higher lean protein, higher vegetable dish. Um, One I find really easy to do is a grilled chicken Caesar salad or grilled prawn Caesar salad or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and just start talking you through my thought process and what I did to decide what I was going to order. So let me just screen share. Now, I will say I very much enjoy my wine. So I do have a glass of wine, and I already plan on getting two because it's just something I enjoy. It's very social for me. So why is this thing not playing that? There we go. Before you even come to the restaurant to look up the menu, especially if you're with people you might not be super clear to decide before you even get here. Okay, I didn't do that today. I did a little bit, but I went to do it myself. So, okay, I already knew I was getting to get a typical pour at any restaurant is about 5 ounces. So if you order, can it's going to stay. Hopefully, um, you should have a few glasses and so ounces in there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to share a dream. So here is the menu. So I have a decent amount to play with. That does make a difference. So I'll show you a few low-cal options and then a few higher calorie options. Okay. Typically, I would stay away from the starters. Just order one meal. However, I also use about 250 calories with wine. So if you are wanting no alcohol, then you can order more food, okay? Or a dessert. Okay. A really go-to meal for me is just a classic Caesar salad, like I said, or this like crab and chip Louis would be really awesome. Now, with this one, it's going to be a little bit harder because you should track the beans, the lettuce, the cucumber, the egg, what it says green beans twice, olives, etc. What I would do, there's like 4 vegetables. I would just pick one of them, like cucumber or let's say green beans, and I would just track 2 cups, and that would just count for all of it. I would ask for no croutons because croutons to me aren't worth the carb. So that's only that process there. Shrimp, crab, and chicken are very lean proteins, exceptional choices when you go out to eat. Okay. Always ask them, how do you cook it? Is it sauteed in butter or are you grilling it? Okay. That makes a huge difference. They can have like 500 calories in butter. It's insane. Okay, I wanted to order an entree because I did want a bit more carbohydrate and I wanted to show you something outside of just a salad, okay? So as I was scrolling, I considered the corn tacos, not bad. The chipotle aioli I would have gotten on the side because it's a lot of fat and there's already cheese in there, and it's fine, that's not bad. I personally just have a low fat content for the day. Um, Halibut tacos I also considered, but there were too many random things in there. Queso and crema, so 2 really somewhat icky fat sources, and so I was like, no, not worth it to me. So then I saw this. Now, I am at a restaurant on the river So I really wanted seafood, and seafood is like one of the best options to be a lean protein. So this is what I chose. I didn't even know what this was. I had to Google it. And when I Googled it, so let me actually do that. So seafood, how did you spell it? C-O, forgive me, I know that's not how you pronounce it. I think it's T-O-P or something. Anyway, okay. Instantly, when I saw that it was a tomato broth, I was sold because it's very low calorie, right? If it's Korean based, I wouldn't have got it. It's simply too hard to track, and I don't think it's worth it for me personally. Let me take a sip because I'm parched. Okay, so that told me I was sold. Okay, and I wanted all the different seafoods. Then I asked the server when he came over, I said, how are all of these seafoods cooked? Are they cooked in a bunch of butter? He said, yeah. I said, okay, do you mind cooking them with no butter? He said, no problem. I'm like, great, okay, too easy. And I just realized you guys can't even see me. And I apologize. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, good. Good, okay. All right. So he's gonna cook without butter. It comes with grilled sourdough. Thank God, I wanted the carbohydrate. Wine is not carbohydrate. There's a tiny bit in there, but alcohol is its own macro. I need carbohydrate because I'm trying to build muscle, okay? All right. Then I asked him, is the calamari deep fried? And he said, no, it's just grilled. It's outstanding. I'll take that. That was literally it. No other questions. So now I'm gonna pause this video and I'm gonna wait until the food comes, and then I'm gonna show you the portion of the food because I don't even know how I'm gonna track it yet. I imagine, granted, I've never been here, so I don't know the portions. It's a very classy restaurant, so the protein portions are probably high. In the future, if it's a restaurant where you actually have no idea what the portions are, a safe bet is 4 ounces. Typically, a restaurant will not serve you more than 4 ounces of meat unless it's like a burger and they're saying half-pound burger or something, which, I mean, unless you just got done with a really hefty lift and you're using the majority of the calories, it's just not necessary to eat that huge of a portion simply because your body is not using the calories. Therefore, that energy, aka calories, will be stored as fat. We don't want to lay down layers of fat. So it's better to have small meals throughout the day, 4 to 5 feedings, depending on you, okay? Some people prefer 3 feedings. That's perfectly fine. But we need to see how your body responds, right? It's kind of packing too many calories, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. Okay, so let me show you just a different example. Let's say I wanted to get the grilled halibut dish. So there's mashed potatoes, green beans, sauce, and fish. Outstanding. I actually somewhat considered this one. Okay, the halibut, again, I would do 4 ounces. Even if it's a little bit much, it's better to overestimate than underestimate, okay? The mashed potatoes, you'd have to see the portion size when it came. Personally, just knowing restaurants, because I eat out a lot because I work at home or I work remotely, and I am such an extrovert. I enjoy other people. And so sometimes that's the only time I can get that social interaction is working out, right? So just having the experience, I would most likely cut the portion in half that they gave me, and I would track 3 ounces. Okay, but again, restaurant dependent. But if you follow that guideline, you'll most likely be very successful. With the green beans, again, I would just ask them don't cook anything in extra butter. And actually, for the mashed potatoes, I would ask them that same thing. Not saying that butter is bad, it just adds so many calories for such a small amount. And I don't want to use all those calories, A, because I don't know how much they're using, and it is hundreds of calories that you don't even realize are there. So you're not even really enjoying those calories, and I want to enjoy every calorie I eat, okay? And then I would ask for the sauce on the side. I would dip my fork and then take a bite of the food. Do not take your food and dip the food. Dip your fork and then take the food. And then when I do that, I typically track 1 tablespoon of whatever I'm eating. I think that's a little bit high, but just in case, because I'm not measuring and I'm not trying to take a tiny amount, like I'm just tipping my fork and enjoying the sauce. So for béarnaise, I actually am not quite sure what that is, but I would just look it up into MyFitnessPal and they probably have it. So for MyFitnessPal, and I'll show you actually once the food comes. Actually, here's what I'm going to do. I'll show it to you now so I don't have to break the video, and I'll take a picture of the food and I'll add it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to screen sharing on my phone. And I have to stop screen sharing here. Hello, beautiful people. This view is gorgeous, by the way. It's on the waterfront. I love the water, you guys. It makes my soul really happy. It's my space. Okay. So I'm going to share again, and I'll show you how I'm going to track. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to talk through the menu with you because now you can't see the menu naturally, which is perfectly fine. I thought that was my food. Thankfully, it is not. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the menu on my computer just so I have it. Thank you. And actually, you guys, it is here, so I will show you in just a moment. Okay, so as you can see in lunch, I've already put my Pinot Gris. I almost said Pinot Gris. Okay, so it looks really good. So salmon, cod, manila clams, mussels, prawns, calamari, grilled sourdough. Would I sit here and literally type in every single food? You betcha. So by the look of the dish, I think it would be safe to track about 1.5 ounce for each. It might be a little high because something to remember, most places won't give you more, like I said, than 4 ounces. This dish, because there's so many meats, it might be 5. So again, I'm going to over track just to be safe. So I'm going to track 1.5 ounce salmon, just any salmon, it doesn't matter what it is, cod. So baked cod because it's not deep fried or anything like that, right? So I'm just looking to basically, when there's all these random choices, I just pick the average. I like to pick the one with a little bit higher calories, but if there's like a pretty consistent one, I'll pick that one. So you can see baked cod 4 ounces, 138, baked cod 4 ounces, 138, a little bit lower. I'm going to pick that one. So 4 ounces, I'm going to change this serving size to 1 ounce, and then I'm going to click 1.5. Okay, the next was clams. There's no way there's 1 point, well, maybe. I'm going to put 1 ounce of clam because they're pretty small. And that, so as you can see, I am guesstimating. I am not perfect, okay? But again, always over guesstimate, okay? So cooked mussels. Okay, so 1 medium mussel. I see about 3 in my dish. And you know what's funny? I've literally never had a mussel. So that will be new. Okay, 3 mussels. The next one is prawns. It's the same as like, I think it's just large shrimp. Okay, so 1 prawn, 1 plain prawn, sure. That one is fine. So I see in here about 3. So I'm going to select 3 prawns, and that's not accurate because there's not only 4 grams of protein in 3 big prawns. So this one's hard, as you can see, because well, gosh, maybe there is. There's another one, same. So okay, then I'll just select it. And again, we're not perfect, right? We're just doing the best that we can. Calamari. But remember, it's baked, it's not, or it's grilled, it's not fried or anything like that. So I'm gonna find like a pretty low cal because, yeah, grilled calamari, here we go, 1 ounce. So I'm gonna choose 1.5 just to overestimate a little bit. sourdough bread, and that's like a ton of sourdough. But because I just lifted and because I have a lot of calories, I am gonna eat all of it. Okay, so these are pretty fat pieces, and so I'm gonna pick the highest calorie one. Yes, I do believe there's 30 carbs in one piece, and I am eating 2. So that's a ton of carbs. If you have not weightlifted, or if you don't have a high amount of carbs, I would definitely say only eat 1, because 60 grams of carb is like almost 3 serving, okay? All right, so as you can, this meal is 780 calories. Oh, and I didn't even include the tomato. So it's a tomato broth, and I'll probably eat it. So I'm just gonna type in tomato broth. Sure, look at that, 9 calories, great. Okay, so 7 for this lean meal, which is funny. Really low fat, high carb, high protein, but remember, 250 calories of that is my wine, okay? All right, that is all I have, you guys, that's it. That is it. So let me know, let me come back to my Zoom here so you can see my face. Okay, let me know. Oh, let me show you this. And let me know if you guys have questions on this, okay? So good. Here is the dish. Okay, so 2 pretty large pieces of bread. I probably definitely overestimated the meat, but at the same time, I might not have. And I would rather overestimate than under. You can see a bit of oil in the dish, and that's another reason I like to overestimate slightly because of that. And actually, after seeing this, I'll probably add a half of a tablespoon of oil just to make sure. I did ask to cook without oil, but there might always just be a little bit. And so I think doing a half a tablespoon is completely realistic, tablespoon, simply because that's actually quite a bit. And I asked them to not do oil. Okay, so I think that really covers my basis there. And now I can enjoy the meal because it fit into my calories. I can eat the entire thing and just enjoy it so much and not feel guilty and just move on with life and be well fed. So, all right, you guys, let me know if you have questions, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.